South Florida. Write Your Narrative podcast is your street art soundtrack. This is where the culture speaks. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, everyone. Write Your Narrative podcast season 4 starts now. I'm your host, Pascal D. Today's guest is a true cultural powerhouse, someone who's not just shaping the art world, but transforming the very worlds we walk past in Wynwood and beyond. She is the co-founder of Goldman Global Arts and the dynamic force behind Miami's iconic Wynwood walls. But her story is more than just murals and colors. It's about legacy, vision, and purpose. She is the daughter of the late Tony Goldman, a legendary developer and arts advocate. She has taken the torch and turned it into a spotlight, illuminating public spaces with creativity and meaning. By bringing together global street art and leading bold projects, she is redefining what it truly means to be a curator of culture. In this episode, we go beyond the paint and into the purpose, talking legacy, innovation, and how art can not change just neighborhoods, but lives. Jessica, welcome to the mic.
Thank you. Thank you. It's amazing to be here.
Thank you so much for accepting this invitation.
I just want to say I
Please.
accepted the invitation because you have always shown up. You have always shown up, and you have been a person that is deeply passionate about the street art world. And so I really appreciate that. And so it was important for me to show up for you.
I am melting. Thank you so much.
It's the truth.
Yes, I do have a huge appreciation, love, and respect for the art, for the culture, and for the people. I mean, I am all for the people. This is why when I started the Talking of the Wall almost 14 years ago, the project, and we did an interview almost 10 years ago for I Am Wynwood, because you are Wynwood, of course. And at the time, this was
I'm a part of Wynwood. I'm not.
Oh, yes. But just like I say in the introduction, you took that torch from your father's hand and turning into a spotlight for this community. So this is something absolutely incredible.
Well, I had an amazing teacher. Who was all about purpose and drive and vision and passion. And so when you are surrounded or that's your mentor, it's part of my DNA. It's part of the DNA of our company. It's part of the DNA of all of the people that we work with. And so that's really kind of the foundation of where that comes from.
That is absolutely incredible. So you actually grew up in New York?
I did.
Surrounded by creative energy. So how did that environment influence who you are today?
Growing up in Soho in New York City, from the time I was born, my brother and I, Joey, we were exposed to all things creative. And so creativity comes in the form of art, but it also comes in the form of theater and dance and music and, and food and writing.
Absolutely.
And so I think we just had a real deep appreciation for all things creative. And growing up in that environment was a beautiful, beautiful experience, very unusual experience. And so that has shaped me in the sense that I just really appreciate it. I appreciate all things creative, and I want to be around it. I want to foster it. I want to support it. I want to give it a platform, and I want to be able to kind of expose other people that typically wouldn't be exposed to really creative thinking.
Yes.
And so the hope is that Wynwood is a place that fosters really creative thinking and creative execution.
So you've described yourself as a curator of culture. I love that expression.
Yeah.
So what does the title means to you?
Being a curator is, most people think of being a curator as something to do with art. and, selecting beautiful things and, incredible images and photography and paintings and all of those things. We curate neighborhoods. And so we curate tenancies, we curate architecture. And so it's all a function of kind of going up into the helicopter as a kind of like, what's the word, as an example, and looking at kind of our neighborhoods from 30,000 feet.
Yes.
But also kind of walking the streets and seeing it from the street level. And so curating is about seeing into the future.
Into the future, yes.
It is about creating a sense of place. Curating is about setting an example. So if we are building something, it has to be exceptional. That way, when others build around, then they have a benchmark of doing things that are exceptional. So when we came to Wynwood, there was a lot of graffiti. And it was, it's all in a person's perspective, right? Some people might think it was destructive looking. I thought it was kind of chaotic and fabulous and organic and
it was bold and beautiful.
And beautiful,
yes.
And it was beautiful. So it's all a function of how you see things. And so, but what we did was we used that as the DNA. And we created the Wynwood Walls. The Wynwood Walls was kind of the gravel parking lot. We took the backs of all of our buildings and we invited the greatest street artists in the world to come paint. And so as a result of that, now as you see the neighborhood grow vertically, you see big murals on the exterior of buildings.
Very true.
You see artwork in the interiors of buildings. And by the way, it's grown. And so you see that in other parts of Miami, you see it in other parts of the country, you see it in other parts of the world. And so the hope is that we have ignited an art movement, which is really one of the most important art movements in modern history, which is the street art movement. And,
yes.
And we took our passion and we pushed it forward.
Oh, it's definitely with a lot of passion and understanding that you do, and lots of love. I mean, you are pouring so much love into this neighborhood.
We do.
Definitely. So you said that street art leaves something behind. How does that permanence affect the way you approach your curation?
So street art is actually meant to be ephemeral. And so it's not meant to be permanent. Nothing in life is permanent. And we all have to embrace change in a big way, because we think we can control things, but we don't. We only control our own decisions. That's one of the things one of the many things I learned from my father. And so it's not permanent, but I think what we tried to do is make art a permanent fixture of the Wynwood community and the Wynwood neighborhood. And so it's almost expected that when you walk down the street, you see things that are really creative and colorful and have depth to it. And the beauty is that it is a living, growing laboratory of experimentation, and not just in the art form, but in the businesses that are here and in the people that are here and in the growth that is now and coming.
It's a living neighborhood.
It is a living
neighborhood. People are
neighborhood.
just living here and or traveling or coming to this place.
And so nothing's permanent.
No, nothing is permanent.
And so we have to keep reinventing ourselves, and we have to keep reinventing, and not getting comfortable with things the way that they are.
It's very easy to be comfortable.
It is, but it's I'm always searching for ways to improve myself, and improve the way in which we do things as a person, as a leader, and as a parent, and as a wife, and as a friend, and as as a
you wear so many hats.
I wear a lot of hats, but I like wearing a lot of hats, I guess. And so, it's all a function of thinking about the world and how it's changing. Like, how will technology change art and the way we look at art and experience art and the way we buy art? How will different elements of change affect everyday life? I mean, COVID affected the way that we do business. It affected the way that people want to work.
Absolutely.
It shifted to remote working. Okay, well, that works in some capacities and it doesn't really work in other capacities.
True. Very,
And
very,
so
very true.
we have to just embrace the change.
We have to embrace the change. And you have created the Wynwood Walls Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So you're also giving back to the community. You
We
are
do.
constantly giving back to
We
the
do.
community. So what are some of the association and the people, and how do you give back to this community?
So the Wynwood Walls Foundation is something that we as a family are really, really proud of. We were free and supported by the Goldman family, the Wynwood Walls was, for 10 years. And when COVID happened, we closed our doors just like everybody else. And we had some time to reflect and really think about what did we want to be for the next 10 years. And so in our reflection, we recognized that we wanted to go to a timed and ticketed model, like a proper museum. And
Yes.
we looked to see what all the other museums in the country were charging as their admissions fee. And we wanted to be very inexpensive and we wanted to be very kind of approachable.
Yep.
And so we started charging. But in doing that, we created the foundation and a portion of the ticket price. So when you come to visit the Wynwood Walls, a portion of your ticket price goes into the foundation, and the foundation takes the magic of the Wynwood Walls and puts it into the community even further. So for example, we sponsor the art therapy program of the Lotus House, which is the largest women's shelter in the United States. We seated an arts department at the Big Brothers Big Sisters headquarters so that when young people go to the headquarters, they're surrounded by fabulous murals by amazing artists, and it just changes the way you think and it changes the way you see things, and it gives people hope.
It totally does.
And so the foundation has done a lot of amazing things. We welcome hundreds of thousands of young people from the public school system of Miami-Dade County
Okay.
to the Wynwood Walls. They have art classes and they have, and we provide transportation to bring them there. So the whole idea is that we're inspiring an entire new generation of artists, and we are putting more magic into the world. And it's not just within the walls of Wynwood or the Wynwood Walls. It's not just within the neighborhood, that it's going out even further.
Even further, yes. So
And
this
it's an
is
amazing, amazing foundation. I'm so proud of what we do there.
well. Thank you so much for all that work, you and your team. As
Well,
we
and
say, it always
it's
takes a village.
Every
And takes,
single visitor that comes
Yes.
to the Wynwood Walls participates and contributes to that foundation. And I
That's
think that's
awesome.
really, really cool.
That's really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now we cannot do a podcast without, of course, talking about Tony Goldman, your
My
father,
favorite.
and
My favorite.
his legacy. I mean, this is
Yeah,
just
super special.
someone who lays his eyes in one little neighborhood in Miami, and 15, 20 years later, this is where we are. So
Yeah.
your father was definitely a true visionary,
Mhm.
not just here in Miami, in
Yeah.
New York
Soho,
too,
South
and
Beach,
Soho, South Beach.
Philadelphia.
Oh, yes. So when you think of your father today, and I'm sure you think of your father every day,
Every day.
what are the first words that comes to your mind?
Passionate, visionary, funny, and just I miss him every single day. Every single day.
So have any of these words just
Amazing.
shaped the way you are leading today?
Yeah, sure. Of course it does. He is my compass. He's my compass. And so I don't do everything exactly the way he would have done
No.
things, because life changes, time changes, and I'm a different person than he
course.
is. But I think the core of who I am as an individual comes from my mother and my father. And it comes from our values, and it comes from kind of the way in which we view the world and the way in which we view other people. So
Yes.
everything is grounded in respect. Everything is grounded in optimism. Everything is grounded in creativity, where, everything is grounded in a work ethic. And so all of those things are part of what I've learned and what I've witnessed and what I've chosen to make a part of who I am. And I think that he is an incredible poster child for those qualities. My mother is an incredible poster child for those qualities. And I think that we have, as a family business, we have been able to integrate those things into what we do every day and how we show up. And I think that that's really important because life is complicated and life
It is complicated.
Can sometimes be overwhelming and scary, and how we show up is really important. How we, what our reputation is really important. And, there is just so much time that we have on this planet, and we
Yes.
have to decide how we want to spend our time and who we want to spend it with and what we want to spend it doing. And so I'm very lucky that I get to choose the projects that we do. I'm very lucky that I get to work with amazing, amazing people. And I get to have a lot of fun, and we get to do really
Exactly what I
purposeful
said
stuff.
at the beginning.
We get to do purposeful things.
I mean, I've known you for over 12 years now,
Yeah.
and that's what I say. You always bring some fun and passion, and you
Sunshine.
just like, okay, you are maybe Jessica Goldman, but you are just a real person. You
That's
are
it.
just a real person. There's
That's it.
nothing, I hate to say fake, of you. It's just like, I have to say that.
Mhm.
I have to say that because this is exactly how I see you and how we've been interacting throughout different occasion, different stuff that moments that you are doing. So when your father brought you first to Wynwood, what was his dream that for this area, for Wynwood? What do you think was his
So it was
vision?
actually my brother, Joey,
Yes.
that found Wynwood for us as a family. And he came to the family and he said, I found our next zone. We had been in Soho in the 1970s, and Miami Beach in the 80s, and Center City in Philadelphia in the 90s, Wall Street in the 90s, and we came here in 2005. My brother and I were living here in Miami, and it was time to really focus on a new what we call zone. And this is a very pedestrian neighborhood. Well, it wasn't at the time, but it was mapped out. It's the grid system of how this neighborhood is laid out made it very
prone to
like just easy for walkability, and we love neighborhoods like that. And so he brought that to the family, and we are like, we're all in. It's amazing. It's super centrally located. It's like 4 miles from the airport. It's 4 miles from downtown. It's 4 miles from Miami Beach, and it's a walkable neighborhood. And in Miami, many neighborhoods or many places we're a very vehicular city. And so as New York City people, we love to walk. And so coming here was, my dad got it right away, and he stood on what is now Tony Goldman Way, which is Northwest 2nd Avenue. He stood there and on 26th Street and Northwest 2nd Avenue, and he said, this is going to be the center for the creatives. And so it was relevant. I mean, that was kind of the goal, that he wanted to be the center for center for creativity. And that was kind of what we were going to work towards for the next 10 years, next 20 years, 30 years. And so that was kind of the what's it called? The kind of, you lay it down in the sand, and like that's
yes.
That's the marker. That's the flag in the sand, or in this case, in the sidewalk.
Yes.
And and then we build towards that, and little by little, we started to do lots of different things to create energy, and whether it was bringing Zach the baker to the neighborhood, and and doing something so that he could really take off in his business, or Cars and Guitars, Walt Grace, or different types of tenancies that made sense for a neighborhood early in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Now you've got amazing food and beverage options here. You've got a building retail business here. You've got obviously lots and lots of beautiful artwork in the neighborhood. You've got people starting to live in the neighborhood. You've got the lab, which is where we are today, which is an amazing, amazing kind of ecosystem of startup businesses. And so you've got incredible music businesses that are, that have made Wynwood their home.
Of course, yes. Spotify,
and Sony, and
definitely.
and so all of those things. So it's a big growing laboratory, like I said, and I think that that's what makes amazing neighborhoods, is when they're ever changing and they're not just for one type of person or one type of business.
Yes.
They're for everybody.
They are for everybody. They are for the community. So with all these years that you worked next to your father, along with your father, there was what was like the day-to-day working with him? Was he more like a mentor to you, a partner, or a challenge, or just everything?
All of those things. All those things. He was a mentor. He was, he loved to teach, but he also loved to learn. And so sometimes I was the student and sometimes I was the teacher.
Yes.
He was super challenging. He did not make it easy for me at all. He really expected a lot from me. And we used to, it wasn't a joke because it used to piss me off, but I used to say, Dad, what should I do? And he would say, I don't know. I'm on a desert island. Go figure it out for yourself. And so he really, really forced me to lean into discomfort and to try to figure out and be incredibly resourceful, and didn't help me.
No.
He had very, very high expectations for me,
I'm sure,
which I really appreciate. I do. I really appreciate that today. And so I didn't always appreciate it at the time.
Oh, yeah.
But
it's so hard, yes.
But
the parental confrontation,
But he was, always leading by example, always incredibly respectful. And
that's such a beautiful word, respectful.
Yeah.
To me, it's such a key word. It's a word that it's
a
just
lot
like
of people
a key.
have lost
You
that.
can open so many doors with one word.
Lead
respect.
with a hand and not a hammer.
It is just, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Lead
this
with a
is
hand
such
and not a
an
hammer.
amazing thing. So, like we say, you probably have a lot of pressure on you from that legacy to protect, preserved.
I'm the guardian.
So how do you balance all that with your own instinct as innovating and taking risks?
So my dad taught me to take risk because I was nervous. Most people are nervous about taking risk. But if you believe in yourself, then you shouldn't have to be worried about taking risk. I mean, we have to manage our risk, but at the same time, if you believe in yourself, then there's nothing you can't do. And that's what was instilled in me. And I feel a deep sense of responsibility to the legacy. I feel that it's also my responsibility to grow and expand upon the legacy and also make it part of what my legacy is. And for me, I want to improve the quality of life for as many people as I can in the places that we work. That is the legacy of our business and our company and me as a leader. And I personally want to make the world more beautiful, more interesting, more dynamic, more understanding, more inclusive. And so I believe that can be accomplished through art. I believe it can be accomplished through creativity, creative thinking. And so, the challenges that we face are big. And
they are pretty big. Yes,
only with creative thinking can we address those challenges. So I'm not afraid. I also have an incredible husband who is my rock and incredibly intelligent. And so we are a very good team. So it helps to have a good partner. And I don't know, I was trained to think big and to execute with excellence. Yeah. And so in order to do that, you have to have a lot of faith that and be fearless.
Well, so that's exactly what brings me to, unfortunately, that last kind of a little question is, I strongly believe in the values of respect, family, and hard work. This is exactly what we just discussed. So talking about your father's legacy, how will you be passing on this to your children? You have two
I have three
boys.
amazing
Three?
boys. I have three.
Yes,
I have three.
See,
yes.
Three.
I have three amazing sons, and a soon-to-be future daughter-in-law. And
Wow,
so,
congratulations.
yes, I'm very happy. And it's the same thing. People learn from the way you behave and how you carry yourself and how you treat other people. You can tell people all day long what you think or what you know. And, it's really, people watch you and they watch how you are with everybody, with do you say good morning? Do you say
are in the
thank you?
spotlight.
And so, I hope that my children are amazing. They're young people and they are respectful and they're kind and they're incredibly smart and they are responsible and they know that with privilege comes responsibility and
Yes.
they work hard and just like I want to live a life that my parents and my family would be proud of, I think they want to do the same. And there is no expectation that they will work within the company or that they get certain things that they want to do it on their own. And so whether they join the family business at some point, we'll see. My dad never made it like, it wasn't an expectation. It was like, if you choose to be part of the family business, amazing. There are some rules around it.
Of course, there have to be rules and boundaries and, of course, guidelines.
Incredible, incredible people. And I think they'll do amazing things in the world. And I think they'll make the world better in their own way.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica, for this few minutes, for that little conversation, going through everything. I mean, talking about your father's work, legacy, and what you built on. This is something that Wynwood is now on the map. Mm-hmm. Miami has been on the map, but Wynwood, that little district, that little neighborhood. And that's funny that you say something, we can walk in Wynwood, we can walk. I've been living in Fort Lauderdale for 32 years. And when I first came to Wynwood, I said, well, it's amazing. I can actually park my car and walk in this neighborhood.
Sure.
And there's just so very, very few little spots like this in our cities where we can't do this anymore. Even during the summer month when it's hot hot. But
it's hot everywhere.
It's hot
everywhere.
Hot
everywhere right now.
But we are so fortunate, so lucky to be in Miami.
Yes, we are.
We could be in the
Miami is one of the for temperature, but Miami is one of the hottest cities on the planet. It is a city with enormous potential for growth.
Yes.
We have our challenges, like every city in the world. We have challenges with affordable housing and we have challenges with transportation and education. But there are a lot of people that really, really care about our city and they care about making it as amazing as humanly possible. And, and we'll address those challenges with a really solid mindset and, and creative thinking and creative execution. And I think that there is no other city in the world that's being talked about the way that our city is being talked about. We have every major sporting event. We have incredible sports teams.
Oh my God, the sports team we have and everything. It's incredible.
We have amazing industry, way more industry than we ever had when we first came here, when my dad first started buying properties here. And so, we are a force to be reckoned with, and we're not even finished. Just like Wynwood still has more runway. Our city has a lot more runway, and I think you're going to continue to see amazing things.
And you still got to be doing amazing things.
That's the plan.
And your team, because like we say, it takes a village, and you have so many. It does take a village. You surround yourself with so many strong people.
Yes, I do.
I'm sure I would love one day to work with you. I'm sure eventually somehow.
Thank you. You know what? It's like I love people. I love people. People have all kinds of things
That's
to
what we
offer.
said at the beginning.
They have great ideas. They have great energy. And, you never know where a great idea is going to come from. And,
Exactly.
I always say you have to keep your eyes open. You have to keep your heart open. You have to keep your mind open.
And a door open.
And if you do that,
open.
you
let,
do
let
that,
the people
you
come
never know
into,
what's going to come.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Not
Just
afraid.
don't be afraid.
Not fearless.
You're not afraid? Not
Fearless.
fearful?
No, fearless.
All right. Well, thank you so
Thank you for
much.
having me.
Well, folks, this is it for today for this amazing podcast interview we had. Jessica, I cannot thank you enough to be my first guest on season 4
Thank
of
you.
Write Your Narrative.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you
for
so
having
much.
me.
Folks, we'll see you in a couple of weeks with another incredible interview, which was recorded a little bit ago, a couple of days ago. We'll see you soon. Cheers. Have a great day, everyone. Jessica, thank you so much again.
Thank you.